Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Do you work out and you're not getting your results? You lose your energy. You don't feel like you did when you went to the gym at 20? Well, we're talking about the best women's workout supplements and how to get the most out of your workout and get the results you want. Welcome to Accelerated Health with Sara Banta, where I cut through the noise and fast track your journey to better health. I'm your host, Sara Banta, CEO and founder of Accelerated Health Products, certified by the National Association of Nutritional Professionals. And I'm here to share the latest on supplements, wellness hacks, natural health solutions that actually work and get you your results, from boosting energy to detoxing to balancing hormones and everything in between. I will help you reach your optimal health. So let's dive in. Like I said, we're talking about women and supplements and working out. You know, I've got two daughters. They're 18 and 21, and they don't have to do as much as I have to do to get my results, because the body, when it's younger, it's more resilient. It also can build muscle easily and burn fat more easily. And as we get older, we get more toxic. We have the hormones that kind of get out of whack. Now, that does not have to be your destiny. I feel better than I did when I was 20. So there's a way to do all of this and get your results, right? So women's fitness is more about looking good. Maybe in our 20s, we wanted to look good. 30s, we wanted to make sure we could get pregnant. In 40s and 50s, you don't want pain. You need to get rid of the belly fat. You need to get rid of the brain fog. You want strong bones and healthy joints. Your reason for working out is different. The body's naturally experienced changes in the muscle mass, metabolism, bone density, and that affects your overall fitness goals. Bone health is especially important for us, right? I have osteoporosis in my family. I make sure I lift heavy weights and focus on that bone health, which I think a lot of you do as well. And the acidic diet, the processed foods, the stressors, the toxins, those acidic things in our body attack our bones. So it's not just about drinking milk. That's not going to get you there, right? So that's where we're going to get into all of the myths today. And the right workout supplements can help you along the way. The wrong ones, and I've talked about this, 95% of the supplement market is crap. They're coming from poor sources, or they've got fillers in them that could actually back up your liver. And guess where the fat burning and the muscle building happens? In your liver. Guess where the hormonal balance happens? In your liver. Guess where your thyroid conversion hormones happens? From T4 to T3. That T3 is your metabolism. T4 does you no good unless it converts into T3. And guess where that happens? Your liver. So if you are backed up in your liver by more fillers and toxins in the supplements you're taking, even if it's a protein powder or creatine or a vitamin D supplement, it could be backing up your liver and giving you more challenges than without the supplement. So when you are looking at supplements, science is your best friend. Research shows that supplements with clinically proven ingredients are more effective. Right? Look for supplements with the ingredients that you are hearing about and that are proven. Start slow and go slow. The more you go slow, the more you're sensitive and think to yourself, okay, I feel it from this one thing. Don't throw a ton of new things all at once. Start everything a couple days apart. Recovery. When you're working out, and I have to tell myself this, just don't bang it out 7 days a week. Chronic cardio is not your friend. That's gonna make you gain that belly fat and eat away at your muscle. As we age, us women, it is harder and harder to build muscle. So maintain that muscle like it is your bank, like you have to protect it with everything you got. I tell my daughters that. I said, build your muscle now and protect it for later. But the truth is you can build muscle when you get older. I'm doing it right now, but it takes a lot more work. It takes a lot more focus. You got to keep your liver clean, and you got to focus on your thyroid, your liver, and then the muscle amino acids that the muscles need to build, and then the weightlifting, not the chronic cardio. But that recovery is queen. You just don't go hard day after day. Safety is first, right? We need to have supplements and ingredients that have undergone third-party testing from trusted organizations for that purity and absorption. Nothing matters. It doesn't matter what you spend on a supplement and what you take unless it's assimilated, unless your body can use it. And that also means that your gut and your liver have to be in good shape to assimilate and use what you're taking. And you want to look for certifications, right? You want to listen to your body, and then consistency is key. I always love it when someone comes to me and says, I'm taking the supplements, I'm doing your diet, and it's not working. And I'll say, okay, well, map out exactly what you're doing during a day. Oh, well, this weekend I was gone. I didn't take my supplements with me, or I'm only focusing on this one, or I forget to take this one. You got to be consistent. Everything in life, whether you want to make money, you want to be a good mom, you want to have good sleep, you want to build muscle, burn fat, it takes consistency. It's not just doing the right thing 50% of the time. So supplements in general can be a game changer for women. Our soils are depleted. Our diet is not giving us what we need. We're low in electrolytes. We're suffering from brain fog, hormonal imbalances, low thyroid. And I want to address that right out of the box. If you have a low thyroid and you are suffering from a slow metabolism, and even if your doctor says your thyroid numbers are normal, they're saying that because they're testing TSH and T4. They're not testing the full thyroid panel. Think to yourself, something's not adding up. I'm not eating enough to gain weight. I should have more energy. With what I'm doing, I should be building muscle. If things aren't adding up in your brain, it's your thyroid probably, and your thyroid and liver. And your doctor is not going to address it because he's only looking at 2 numbers of the full thyroid panel. You cannot burn fat if you have a slow thyroid. You cannot build muscle if you have a slow thyroid. Your brain's not going to feel good if you have a slow thyroid. It's the number 1 cause of depression. It's the number 1 cause of gut issues, constipation, hair falling out, eyebrows thinning, creepy skin, lack of building muscle, all of those things. You can't have endurance or recovery. And you probably have a low immune system if your thyroid's suffering. So that's something to address first. And with that, you've got accelerated thyroid, which is a full thyroid supplement, comprehensive, all natural, thyroid glandular, but then peptides, amino acids, and an Ayurvedic herb called Conchanar, which is known to help detox the thyroid, rebuild it, and give it what it needs. And after the pandemic, I believe that close to 80-90% of people are not optimal with their thyroid. If you don't believe me, take a thermometer and take your temperature. Is it under 98.6? Then it's showing you that your body is running at a lower temperature. What's so interesting is when I actually feel heated up, I'm only at a 98.2. And if I suffer from a couple days of low thyroid, and what could that be from? That could be from fighting a virus. That could be from stress, from travel. You can go up and down. Your thyroid numbers aren't static always. But I can go as low as 97 degrees. That's not good. And so I want you to test your temperature. That's the number 1 way to tell if you have hypothyroidism, right? Vitamin D, omega-3s, those are supplements that women take. They are needed to help reduce inflammation, promote heart health, support overall well-being. But the problem is omega-3 fatty acid supplements, most of them are rancid and actually are unstable and do more harm in your body than good. That's where I like to focus on wild fish. I like my wild fish to get my omega-3s. And your grass-fed, grass-finished wild animal protein has more omega-3 fatty acids in them. Bison ribeyes, lamb, elk, venison, those are great sources. How should you get your vitamin D? Try to get it from the sun. If you can't, there's always a vitamin D supplement you can use as well. You want to check for labels. Natural ingredients like caffeine can help. Do you want to be drinking 6 cups of coffee a day? No. That would show that you probably have an adrenal issue, which is tied to your thyroid. But 1-2 cups of coffee can give you a boost in fat burning, boost in energy at the gym, and help get your day started. That's something that I use. So with your pre-workout, what should you do? There's a study that shows by just putting an unrefined salt, like accelerated ancient salt, in your water, athletes got 21 more minutes in performance, in endurance. It boosts that cellular energy. It boosts that intracellular hydration. Hydrating the cells is part of energy. You have extracellular water and intracellular water. The extracellular water is the puffiness, I just ate sushi with a whole bunch of soy sauce morning. I can't pull my rings off my fingers. That's that. But we're talking about the intracellular water. That is where the electrolytes, unrefined salt comes in. Electrolytes that I love, the quintessential 0.9, the wild lights, Olaloa, and the very basic accelerated ancient salt. Those are all great sources of electrolytes. Putting them in your water, putting the salt in your coffee, putting it in your pre-workout drink, you will feel that boost. You can also use creatine. Creatine has been shown to give more energy. It pumps up the muscles with a little extra juice, a little extra water, so that you do have more energy in the gym. Now, studies are a little mixed on whether it really gives you that long-term benefit. It has been shown to help with the brain. And if your brain feels good, you're going to want to work out more. So there's that too. But the electrolytes and unrefined salt play that vital role in hydration and muscle function. If your muscles are dehydrated, they're not going to be able to lift as heavy, do as many reps, and that they will also regulate that fluid balance in the body, ensuring that the muscles stay hydrated and perform optimally through that intense exercise. I did hot yoga this morning with weights, and I need more electrolytes than when I don't do hot yoga. Why? Because I'm sweating them out. Sweating out toxins, but I'm sweating out all my electrolytes, the magnesium, potassium, sodium. So you need to replenish. Those electrolytes are extremely important. Now, a story I've told many times is my son, as an athlete in high school, he was working out like an Olympian, but he wasn't supplementing like an Olympian. Guess what was happening? His heart was stopping. He had to pound on his chest to get it going again, and we thought he had cardiovascular issues or a bad heart. Heart was perfect. He was low in electrolytes. The heart is a muscle, and it's electric. It needs those electrolytes. So electrolytes. That is most important. Women love their protein powders. This is another staple that they use, and they provide those essential amino acids needed for muscle growth, repair, and maintenance. And you like to drink them so that you don't get bloated and you're not feeling full. Well, I have yet to find a protein powder that doesn't make me feel bloated, and I've tried all the organic, the clean ones. If you got one to suggest, let me know and I'll try it. But the thing is, with these protein powders, they've got fillers. Even the organic ones are known to have high levels of lead. Whey protein, a lot of people are allergic to dairy, or it can cause acne, constipation, gut issues. Plant-based proteins that have soy or hemp, they could actually increase estrogens in the body. They can also be full of glyphosate or GMOs, and then they don't even absorb. You get 18% of the protein absorbed. So a lot of protein powders actually convert into sugar and cause fat gain. So you're not getting what you think you're getting. And then this is the other thing about protein powders. When you eat protein from animal protein, you're eating a steak, you're eating wild bison, you increase a thermic effect. You increase your body temperature that heats up your metabolism. That doesn't happen with these protein powders or protein supplements. And so that's number one. But you also don't have this metabolic burn. 25% of calories from animal protein that you eat are actually burned during the digestion. You do not get that with these protein shakes. The other problem, which I find for me, if I drink them cold or with ice in a blender, that's going to shut down your digestion because your digestion needs fire to keep it going. I love cold drinks, but I have to be very careful. I can literally feel my digestion freeze up. So that is another thing to think about when you are having these protein shakes. So only 18% of the protein is absorbed. And like I said, the plant-based options, they might have not the full, complete amino acid profile that you need for muscle maintenance and recovery, but they can also backfire, leading to that fat gain or muscle gain. They could have oxalates or sulfur or plant poisons that I talk about. They could back up your liver. And remember, where is the muscle building happening? In your liver. If your liver's got to work hard, it's not going to be able to assimilate that protein into muscles. And then you might have inflammation and gut issues, and you're thinking, wait a second, this protein shake only had 150 calories. Why am I gaining weight? As these protein powders are consumed, you might be taking in some fillers, some sugars, some fake sugars, sucralose, other things that they're putting in there to make it taste good and make you feel good without the calories. But these fake ingredients cause your body to store fat. Why? Because the body doesn't know what to do with these fake ingredients. So it shoves them in fat cells. And those fat cells are a survival mechanism. Those fat cells are holding on to the toxins to get them out of the bloodstream. I'm not a fan of protein powders unless you need to gain weight, fat and muscle at the same time. And I don't know many women that are going after that. So that is where essential amino acids come in. And they are supplements out there that have the 9 essential amino acids with nothing else. Muscle repair, growth, maintenance, and they have close to 100% bioavailability. Unlike branch chain amino acids, the BCAAs, which include only 3 of the 9 essential amino acids, the essential amino acids provide the complete spectrum for what the muscles need right then. So to say this in a different way, think about building a bicycle. If you have 3 handlebars, 5 seats, and 1 wheel, how many bicycles did you build? 0. But how many excess parts do you have? A lot. All of those excess parts stored as fat. That's where the branch amino acids come in, and they could actually cause fat storage. When you have the essential amino acids in all the right ratios and you're giving your muscles what it needs exactly at the same time, then you're able to build your muscles. Now, this is the problem with some EAAs. I took all of the most popular ones. I was getting water retention. I was getting gut issues. I'm thinking, wait a second, this doesn't make sense. It was because they had fillers in them or other ingredients that my body did not like. And this is why I came out with the accelerated aminos, which is hands down the gold star of essential amino acids. And we're going to get into why, because it's not just the essential amino acids. There's cofactor ingredients that help with muscle preservation, fat burning, increased energy, increased mitochondrial health, all the things. So we've got some new ingredients that are out there that can help your performance. And I have put a lot of these ingredients in the accelerated aminos. Synactive, estrogen, TMG, HMB, and OKG. You might have heard a couple of them, and you might have heard of one or two, but you don't know what they do? Well, these ingredients are in the accelerated aminos on top of the 9 essential amino acids. Synactive. This is a patented blend of extracts that support cellular energy production and helps reduce that workout fatigue so you are able to work out longer. And it enhances the mitochondrial function, promotes faster recovery, and improves endurance, allowing you to bounce back. Fantastic for us in our 40s, 50s, and 60s. But my daughter's rowing team, they were all on it, and they performed at a higher level than they expected. They felt it. And young girls, they're eating crap. They don't really care about their diet, but they were seeing a boost in their muscle building and their fat loss, even though they were eating the stuff that I wouldn't tell them to eat, right? So it's great for all ages. It's great for men. I've got bodybuilders on it, young men in their 20s, older men in their 50s and 60s, because it's giving them energy on top of preserving the muscles. So you've got the synactive, you've got estrogen, which is a proprietary blend that enhances nutrient absorption. So not only are you absorbing the amino acids better, but you're absorbing everything that you're taking in from your diet and other supplements more effectively. It increases absorption of the essential amino acids by 41%. Most of you, especially if you're over 40 and you're a woman, you have leaky gut. And this helps heal the gut while you're building your muscle and burning your fat and getting more energy. How amazing is that? So it's a gut supplement in addition to a workout supplement. Then we put in TMG. This is also known as betaine, and it supports muscle endurance, strength, adding in methylation processes and reducing fatigue during your exercise. It may also help improve body composition by helping with the fat metabolism and promoting lean muscle mass. Methylation is a huge issue. The TMG is going to help that. Then you have HMB. This is a metabolite of the essential amino acid leucine, and you probably have heard of leucine if you take a workout supplement. Well, leucine has to convert into HMB for it to do any good. We put in leucine and HMB into the accelerated aminos. And this prevents the muscle breakdown, accelerates muscle repair, and it can also help with the lean muscle maintenance, especially during intense training or caloric restriction. So you probably are not eating enough calories. Most women aren't, and they think they can get away with it, and they think they're doing the right thing because they can't lose weight. Remember, you got to go back to your thyroid if you want to burn that fat, right? Accelerated thyroid, and then we're going to talk about iodine in a minute. Those two are for your thyroid. But this is also maintaining that muscle while you're able to lose fat. Now, I had a question this morning come in saying, do you know of anybody who actually gains weight when they're on accelerated aminos? And I said, well, you have to remember, if you're gaining muscle is 80% water. So do not look at the scale unless you've got a body composition scale like the Hume Body Pod. And I will put the link below where you can get 20% off of it. I use it. You cannot look at a regular bathroom scale. Every time my scale goes up, my muscle has gone up and my water has gone up and my fat shows it's gone down. Anytime I have gone to hot yoga, sweated out, I'm dehydrated, I will actually show that my muscle's down, my water's down, and my fat's up. Now that's just temporary, so you got to look at this at the trend. But with that being said, you are not gaining weight or gaining the wrong weight with the accelerated aminos. You're gaining maybe a little water and muscle mass, muscle tissue at the same time. You can't gain lean muscle tissue without it being supported by hydration, right? So that's where HMB can come in, where it's giving you that lean muscle maintenance. You are not gaining fat with accelerated aminos. 0 calories, 15 minutes to be absorbed and assimilated in your body, even if your liver is backed up. Now, a lot of women, and this happened to me about 6 months ago, where my liver was struggling because I had a parasitic infection and viral infection overtook my body. My liver said, I'm so overwhelmed with everything that's going on. And it started eating away at my muscle mass. It didn't matter how much protein I took in from animal protein. My body was not assimilating it. I was taking the accelerated aminos because my body could actually assimilate that when it wasn't able to do the job I was asking it to do with animal protein and other sources of protein. So that's another benefit. Then we put in OKG. OKG supports nitrogen balance and helps reduce muscle fatigue by promoting that protein synthesis and enhancing recovery. So you're able to work out more often and not need as much recovery. Great for people like me who loves to work out and doesn't like to take rest days, unfortunately. I still do, but I can recover much faster. And it helps with that resistance exercise and your endurance. Next is the iodine. So I mentioned thyroid. Like I said, you are not going to burn fat or get rid of that water weight or feel good in the brain or build muscle without iodine and without a healthy thyroid. 96% of the United States is deficient in iodine, and that is probably you if you're not taking the right iodine supplement. Iodine is an essential mineral that supports thyroid health, and that plays a critical role in not just regulating metabolism, but energy production and hormonal balance. And you need the right amount of iodine to help maintain that thyroid. That T4 and T3 stands for T, the tyrosine, and 4 and 3 molecules of iodine. Supports muscle function, cognitive performance. How are you going to work out if you don't feel good in the brain? And overall well-being. So you want to be including that iodine in your regimen. Accelerating iodine is the only iodine I recommend. It's monoatomic, meaning the body does not have to break it down to use it. So the absorption is close to 100%. Most Lugol's formulas, most nascent iodine supplements are paired with ingredients like glycerin or a low quality GMO non-organic alcohol that is inhibiting the absorption. Accelerating iodine is the only iodine that is one molecule of iodine paired with 200 proof organic non-GMO alcohol. That means that it has much easier time to get into every cell of the body, not just the thyroid, but every cell. And you need that iodine to support the cellular membrane, the brain of the cell. It supports the iodo-lipid value to allow toxins out and nutrients in. Remember, all of those fake ingredients and toxins are stored in your fat cells. And if your body doesn't feel safe to be able to release those toxins, you're not going to lose weight. I don't care what you're eating or how low your calories are, how many hours of Orange Theory you're doing. Your body's going to hold on to those fat cells and those toxins unless the cell membrane is supported and flexible with iodine and healthy fats to allow those toxins out. Iodine helps with fat burning. It helps with fat oxidation. It helps with protein synthesis. And the accelerating iodine, scalar enhanced, 200 proof alcohol, monoatomic, and it gets into every cell in the body. It also helps clear out the toxins from the brain so you are not depressed. It lifts your mood so you feel like, oh my gosh, I actually want to work out today. Okay, so accelerating iodine is paramount. All of these other things, don't reach for the creatine, don't reach for the protein powders or anything else unless you have your thyroid optimized and iodine is part of your regimen. Next is nitric oxide. This plays a crucial role in supporting your cardiovascular health, exercise performance by promoting vasodilation by increasing nitric oxide production. I've had Dr. Nathan Bryan on my show multiple times. Go listen to those podcasts. It's amazing. Every time I do, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to be taking more. The NO lozenges, and you can find them at Accelerated Health Products, are a game changer. I suck on one every day with my workout, And people drink beet juice and take beet supplements for the same reason. But guess what beets have? They're full and loaded with oxalates. I was out to dinner a couple months ago, and they had this beautiful beet salad that was served with my salmon. And I thought, oh, one beet salad isn't going to knock me off, isn't going to make me feel bad. I can handle it. Oh my goodness. For 3 days, I was so bloated. And it was all the oxalates backing up my liver and my gut, causing gut issues, slowing my thyroid. I felt awful. And beets are supposed to be healthy. Well, the NO lozenges gives you the nitric oxide with no oxalates. And if you're doing mouthwash or an acid reflux medication, that is killing the nitric oxide in your body. Nitric oxide is needed for erectile dysfunction. Viagra is based on nitric oxide. Do the nitric oxide lozenges before reaching for the Viagra. It is amazing. So again, accelerated thyroid, accelerated iodine. You got to address your thyroid before doing anything else. Pre-workout, you need your electrolytes. Accelerated ancient salt is a game changer. Put it on your food, put it in your coffee, put it just on your tongue before you work out. Tastes amazing. You're not going to want to use any other salt. If you need extra electrolytes, great options are Wild Lights, Quintessential 0.9, Olaloa, which is more of a multivitamin. Okay, so those are your pre-workouts. Accelerated aminos, I take those 15 minutes before my workout because it takes only 15 minutes to absorb. 0 calories, 0 fillers, nothing but the ingredients I talked about. The 9 essential amino acids, the OKG, TMG, Synactive to boost your performance, VO2 max, your ATP production, the estrogen to help the absorption of the essential amino acids and all of the other supplements and food you're taking in because it's helping heal the gut, all of those things. Now, I mentioned liver, and I always take my accelerated liver care on a daily basis to keep my liver happy. And if you are having a hard time with fat burning, muscle gain, all the things, because the liver does 1,000 different jobs, that is a great way just to give it support. And in post-pandemic lifestyle, we have been just rocked. Our immune systems have been rocked. The spike protein affects the ACE2 receptor in the liver. It's a big deal. So it's going to affect your overall life and your workouts. Now, you want to make sure you're addressing safety and dosage, and make sure, again, you start things slow. And supplements are supplements. You want to focus on a healthy diet. The Accelerated Food Guide is free. It's there to help guide you. It's not there to make you feel restricted. When you look at the amazing list of foods and you think, oh, I can't have one of my favorite foods or 2 of my favorite foods, there's 10 others to choose from that you will feel like you're eating like a king or queen. It talks about the wild animal proteins. I've had a question about the cost of these proteins, like the bison, elk, venison, wild fish. Go to websites like forceofnature.com, buffalogal.com. There's tons of meats and ranches around the country that it's direct to consumer. So you are cutting out the middleman, and they're not more expensive. They're not. Cut out the Doritos and the Pringles and the crap, and you're going to save a lot of money. You don't save money by just not focusing on these wild animal proteins. They can fit into your budget. But you want to focus on that regular strength training and resistance exercise. Cardio, do it for your brain, but do not do it for your fat burning. You actually might gain fat when you're doing your chronic cardio. Your body is smart and it will adjust. So once again, the standout supplements, you got to focus on your thyroid, accelerated iodine, accelerated aminos for the muscle building and fat. Now, I'll just mention one other last one, and that's accelerated fast. If you like to do fasted workouts, and this is very controversial, especially for women, because of the stress. Accelerated fast gives you the beta hydroxybutyrate to the ketones. So your brain says, I'm not stressed. I've got plenty of energy and plenty of fat to burn on my body. So I'm going to lower the stress and burn the fat and work through my workout. It's got that BHB. It's got something in it called mucal, which supports fat burning, revs up the metabolism. L-threonine, which is an essential amino acid that helps with protein synthesis. Trikatu, which helps boost digestion and metabolism, reduces inflammation. And theacrine, which helps with long-lasting stimulant, but without the jitters. And it gives you that focus, the mental clarity. I love taking that in the morning. I can take the accelerated fast with the accelerated aminos, with the accelerated liver care. That bundle I take all together right before my workout. And that is following the iodine and accelerated thyroid in the morning right when I wake up. So foods are first, right? Accelerated food guide is your guide, and adding in these supplements. Do you need all of them? Maybe not. Start with a couple. Introduce them slowly and see how you feel. And you might be shocked that you feel better than you did when you were 20. So thanks for listening and tuning into Accelerated Health with Sara Banta. I hope you got the tools and inspiration and not the overwhelm to take the next step. Wouldn't it feel amazing to have energy during your workouts? Head to SaraBantaHealth.com for your health articles. Join my free group coaching on Telegram. Ask your questions. Ask me, Sara, you talked about too many supplements. What are the top ones I need to do? This is my condition. I can't lose weight, can't build muscle. I will address your questions in the group chat. And thousands of others have the same questions you do. You can also find these supplements at acceleratedhealthproducts.com. Use coupon podcast10 to get 10% off. Share this episode with your friends, with the women at the table that are complaining about the same things you are. Not only are you going to help them, but you are going to help this podcast reach more people, which will be able to help me help more people like you. You can find me at Accelerated Health with Sara Banta on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, E360, iHeartRadio, and over 100 different platforms. And remember, I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so join me next time for more ways to unlock your health potential.